is missing class. You have the attendance, right, Reggie? Okay.
Paso, creo.
All right. Okay. I want you to open this link, please. Your phone, your laptop, whatever you have. So it has to be typed exactly as like that. So lowercase goo.gl/4 capital E capital U lowercase e 1 lowercase w. All right? Open that and wait there once you open it. All right? So it's 45 people in the classroom, right? Okay. You there?
No,
Yes.
just the chin.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody's ready here? Everybody's ready here? Okay. I have to have 45 answers total. Okay? Are we gonna get 45? We have to have 45. So 22 people here, 23 people here. All right? Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Good. Let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. All right? So 22 on here, on this side, 23 on this side. Okay? Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to name you guys team number 1. Okay? So team number 1. I want to hear it at the count of 3. 1. You just say 1. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
1.
Good. Perfect. So that makes you team number 8. B?
2.
Your team number 2. I want to hear the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
2.
Excellent. They're beating you so far. Okay. So team number 1, team number 2. Go ahead, click on the first question, and it's going to ask you what team are you. Just select the team, but don't click next. Just select the team, don't click next. Okay? All right. We good? You're going to have 10 seconds to answer a question. Okay? 10 seconds. I'm going to show you a picture. You have 10 seconds to answer. Is that okay? 10 seconds is more than enough. Is it good 10 seconds? It's just one question. You just have to click and answer. 10 seconds is okay? You want more, you want less?
No, no.
Good enough.
Huh?
Enough. No.
You
Good
see.
enough.
I don't hear an answer.
Good enough.
No. 10. Okay, 10 seconds. All right. This is a picture.
What is?
We have 2 parts here. Okay? Answer your question. Answer your question silently. Done. All right?
Yes.
If I click there, I'm going to see my 45 answers. We have to submit, right? Submit, yeah. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see. Good job, guys. 45 responses. Give yourselves a hand. All right. So you're distributed. Who's one? Okay. Who's two? Woo, woo. All right. After looking at the picture, 22 responses. Who are 22? You guys, right? Okay. The question is, do you see same colors or different colors? So on this side, almost 60% see different, same colors, and almost 40% different colors. All right? Let's see what those guys say. Where did it go? Different colors. It was 56%, 43 same colors. Let me ask you one question. Who's right?
No one.
Are they different or are they the same? All right? Let's see this. Let's go back to the presentation. Are they different? Are they the same? Okay? You already answered in the form. Don't change that, please, because I'm going to use it exactly as it is. Okay? How many of you think these two are the same after seeing the results? How many still think these two are different? So you have 40% here. Let's see again. Number one. 60% here think they're the same. All right. 60% who answered they're the same, stand up. Okay? You guys, how many were? 48% thought it's the same. Stand up. Huh? 48% thought they were the same. All right? So let me ask you one question. 60% here, 48% there. Somebody answer an extra question. Why? Here, you guys think almost half the same. Here, over 60% thought they're the same. Why? Can anybody explain me why? Who's right? Is it the same or they're different?
Same.
What do you say, the ones that are seated? Do you think it's different or the same?
Different.
Okay. How are you going to convince the ones standing up they're different?
Look in the Google.
How are the people standing going to convince the others that they're the same?
You need glasses.
All right. I'll go back to the results. Sit down. Thank you. All right. You want to know the truth? Yeah. Okay. What if I do that? Do they look different or they look the same? Let me do one more thing here. Are they the same or are they different?
Same.
This is what you saw. This is what happens. You want more evidence? What if I take a piece out of this and compare it in both sides? See? This appears. It goes down. Disappears. Are they the same?
Yes.
Okay. So what happened with the people that said they're different?
They're blind.
They're blind?
Because they are a line, a white line.
Okay, people that said they were different. What could you say in your defense?
Stand up.
There is a white line.
Huh?
Not the perfect area.
All right. So you see, if we banish the line in the middle, they're exactly the same colors. So now, let me ask this question. For the people who saw different colors, what information did you use to come up with the conclusion that they were different? What did you do? This is all about perception. What information did you use? Consciously speaking, do you remember what you analyzed to make up a conclusion if they were the same or different? What? What did you use? So, the trick here is the same trick that you probably did the first day that you were solving your projects. You get a little piece of information and your brain rushes up to provide solutions without capturing or analyzing more information. And this trick here is made on purpose because you see a contrast of two things. First, we have a darker background here than over here, right? But that seems to be normal, but nobody said it was a normal picture. The whole point is to compare this and this. What else do we have there that is tricking our mind?
Light.
What?
The light.
What else?
The light.
The light, the shades, right? So this is lighter, this is darker. So it gives us the impression, because this part right here is darker, and we have this contrast, that this part over here is darker than the part at the bottom. But the information, it means it's actually the same. It's the surrounding that is tricking our mind. That is the information that tells our brain these are different parts. These are different colors. When in reality, it is actually the same. So this is an exercise. So let me show you a very quick video so you can see who did this before. Can you hear it? Okay.
Difficult to believe that these two squares are the same shade of grey. Experimental neuroscientist Bo Lotto explains why your brain is constantly being fooled by what it sees.
What illusions tell us is that what we're trying to see is not the world as it is, but something else. We're actually generating perceptions of a world that's useful to see. And that useful perception doesn't actually have to correspond with what's actually there. Okay, come on over. We're going to do a test.
Beau's going to prove to a group of volunteers that the two squares are the same color grey.
When you open your eyes, right, first time in the morning, say, do you think you see the world as it really is?
I say yes.
Yeah. You see it? Oh, you're definitely.
That depends if I'm wearing my glasses or not. Yes.
Yes. Yes? Yeah?
think so.
I mean, why not? All right, well, look at this cube here. What if I told you that those two surfaces are exactly the same? Would you believe me?
I wouldn't.
Okay, come on up. Okay?
Beau has attached a grey swatch to one of the surfaces to allow the volunteers to test this one out for themselves.
Take that dot and move that nice up here, right there.
Oh my god. No way. I'll do it again.
It's crazy.
Your mind's been blown.
It's difficult to believe. Let's take another look at the illusion. Try holding up one of your hands and blocking this section of the image. And just in case you're still having trouble seeing it, here's that section blocked off for you.
Different? Same.
It's freaking me out.
What's going on?
Tell us.
Are we changing the surface? What's changing?
Our perception.
Our perception's changing.
Yeah.
Okay, why? That's the question. If we could understand this, we would understand how the brain works.
So how can what appear to be two distinctly different shades of grey actually be the same colour? It has to do with how your brain uses shadows to make decisions about what it's seeing.
Does that clarify the exercise? So how do we relate that to what we're doing? How does that come back? What does it tell you about what you have been doing? What does it tell you about your projects? What does it tell you about your interaction with others? What does it tell you about the way you see things? The way you see normal?
The first impression now is always the correct.
The first impression is not always right. Good. What else?
You cannot rush to take decisions.
Cannot rush to take decisions. Exactly. What else?
We need to think before we act.
We react. Not everybody reacts, but we make conclusions. All right? So I'm going to try to bring this back to what we're doing. So we're supposed to understand culture, right? So we have perceptions, and we have the perception, and we make judgments based on those perceptions. So what is culture? I'm going to get to that later. But if we're trying to understand this from the perspective of solving a project for a company, why is culture an important thing? Why do you think we have to think about culture? So we had asked ourselves this question, and that was the research motivation behind this. What is the problem with operational excellence? There are many problems, a lot of problems. Is it a technical one? Or is it more about trying to understand what really is going on? So we have that problems with operational excellence are in project selection, planning, all the principles, sustainability, but we hear the buzzword about culture more and more frequently. If you Google right now lean culture, you're going to see thousands of articles that say that's what everybody's asking. What is the problem when we want to have success in lean or in operational excellence? Why is the culture word coming along with this concept of lean? Why do you think? Is it a problem of trying to understand what reduction of lead time is? Is it a problem of trying to understand what is the value of a Six Sigma? Or is it trying to understand how people behave? And how are they supposed to behave? So we were diving into literature, and according to the Lean Enterprise Institute, operational excellence fails because of this. First, lack of crisis. Nobody's going to change if they are not going through a crisis. Think the last time you had to admit guilt, that you had to change your behavior. You had to be on crisis. And usually companies or organizations or processes, if they don't see the need to change, if somebody's at work and this person doesn't think he's going to lose his job, probably he's going to remain doing things the way they are. How many of you have asked yourselves that very same question in why would these people listen to some undergraduate student that is coming from a foreign country from which I probably have a very poor understanding about their cultures? How am I going to take that they come and tell me how to do my job? Why would they do that? Why would they, first instance, open their minds to say, okay, maybe these guys have something to say? That's again cultural issue, right? Because let me tell you one thing. The same perceptions that you had in the beginning about American culture in general is the same perceptions that other people have about yourselves, about me. So what did you do to change that perception? The other part, which is in the essence that we're working, is the implementation know-how, technical skills. One of the most difficult part is resistance to change. And Professor Guilherme is going to talk more about that part. How do you create change? The last thing is efforts do not sustain. So when people start seeing that they're not being supervised, they tend to go back to the way that things were. Okay? If there's no consciousness about doing something different, there's not going to be any time that you would do things differently. Right? So, when we were studying this, for us it was not enough. So we went and see some literature, and we were trying to find what additional factors are there. Why do lean systems fail? Why do they not sustain over time? Why do, once you propose some solution, why things go back to the way they were? So we found in the literature this structure of things that we classified them as drivers for success of lean, and in the literature that was providing a negative connotation, we call them barriers for the success of lean. So if you can see, our focus is over these three first things. So some of the drivers go around the knowledge and skills and expertise, the management over here, and this one, the culture. So what we figured out was that the first two are probably very well researched in academia at least, but the third is one that is not very well understood, understanding the culture. And then the question is, okay, so if we can find evidence that the problem for sustaining lean is about not understanding the culture, the next question is, what culture do we have to understand? What is the culture that we need to analyze? What is the culture that we have to put ourselves in? So what is it there to understand? So, you have seen this chart before, haven't you? What is it?
Yes.
Toyota Production System, all right? What does it tell you? What is it telling you, this chart?
How to implement lean?
How to implement lean, all right? So according to this chart, we need to do these things in this sequence, from bottom up, right? So we start at the bottom and we have to go up to achieve certain objectives, right? But you have heard about this part too already. What is it telling us? The Toyota production system is telling us that if we do these things over here, we will be able to eliminate personnel, right? On one side, it's telling us we need to work in respect for humanity. On another side, it's telling us that we need to reduce personnel. How do you think that sounds when you go and tell somebody, we're here to implement Lean? And what Lean means is that we need to make you feel better, but we're gonna fire you. How does that sound? What effect is that going to create? So let me ask you one question. If you have had the chance before to participate in a Lean implementation, and if you go around and you ask the question, what do you think about Lean? Or what have you heard about Lean? What do you think the answer is going to be from most people? Ask a person in your projects if you have somebody in the production line. Ask a nurse at the hospital. What do you know about Lean? What is Lean? Describe me in 2 sentences what is Lean. What do you think they're going to say? What do you think?
Reduction of waste. Or I don't know.
Reduction of waste. Okay. What else?
Continuous improvement.
Continuous improvement. All right. Now put yourselves in the shoes of those people. Why would they care about continuous improvement? Why would they care about reduction of waste? How are they getting paid? By the hour. What is a nurse being paid for? Assisting sick people, right? What is person in the production line paid for? Are they paid by hour?
Yeah.
Let me ask you one question. Is overtime bad?
Yes. But there are some people that like.
For who?
Not for the employees. But also for the employees.
It is bad for the employees?
It depends.
Well, yeah, it
Depends.
depends on the perspective. They might like to pay every day.
Okay, let me put it in this perspective. What is the minimum wage for a nurse? Ezra, do you know that information? How much a nurse is making here in US? Let's say somewhere between $15 to $20 an hour. Okay? And they work 40 hours a week. Actually, nurses, their schedule is slightly different. They can work only three or 4 days a week. But let's assume they work 40 hours. 40 hours at $20 an hour, okay? $800 a week. You know how much they pay for extra hour?
1.5 times
1.5 times the time in a regular time. So they're gonna make $30 for every extra hour of overtime they do. Okay? Now let me ask you again. If they're supposed to work these 40 hours in 3 days, and they put another week, another day, 8 hours at $30 an hour, is that bad? Not for the nurse. But if you come and tell them, I'm going to propose you an improvement, and this improvement is going to allow you to not do overtime anymore. What are they going to say? They're going to say, you're taking me away from my, what is 8 times 30? $240. You're going to take $240 a week away from that.